Hey there, movie and Netflix fans. I'm John Andersen, and I just watched season 1 of Iron Fist was stricken with terrible reviews a few days prior to its release, but I wasn't going to let that stagger my anticipation for the series, as I've loved all the Marvel Netflix shows, despite the fact that they've been on a constant, steady incline since the first show. Danny Rand returns to New York 15 years after he was presumed dead from a plane crash. During that time, he had been training with ancient monks to become the Iron Fist. But now that he's returned, he must decide if he wants to be Danny Rand or the Iron Fist. Now, is this season as bad as critics are saying? Well, unfortunately, yes. The best way I can describe this show is it's on the same level as a network or CW superhero show. Definitely more on the side of Supergirl than, say, The Flash, as the 13-episode season elongates the storytelling and is simply unfocused.
Hello, Danny.
This point is solidified by our main character, who at first just wants to be Danny Rand.
Hi, I'm Danny Rand. I've been away a long time.
Let's go, you don't belong here.
I'm Danny Rand.
But by the end of the season, he wants to be both Danny Rand and the Iron Fist.
A child, touched by fire, destined to be our greatest warrior.
However, his character never really changes. He's constantly told throughout the whole season that he can't be both, and by the end of the season, it's assumed that he can, I guess. He never shows any character growth and just moves from one plot point to the next.
Because of who you are, there will always be forces gathering against you. Disguised as a friend, slipping past you as a stranger. They are everywhere.
In regards to the supporting cast, they all have interesting character traits, like Colleen Wing, who's a gifted fighter, but is unsure if she's fighting to defend herself or if she just likes hurting people. Joyce Meacham is a great businesswoman, but questions if her morality is stopping her from making the strongest business decisions. And Ward Meacham is in constant fear and resentment of his father, but is his father's abuse the reason that he is the man that he has become?
If you choose to continue as you are, know that you risk everything.
Again, these supporting characters have interesting traits, but they tend to meander until their traits are convenient to the plot or to our main character. And like Danny, they don't really change or show that many signs of character growth.
Rand is my company.
Our main villain, Harold Meacham, is definitely going for a Harrison Wells reverse Flash vibe from season 1 of The Flash, as you're supposed to be questioning his allegiance throughout the whole season, and you definitely get a taste of that.
Danny Rand, back from the dead. Why's he waited this long to show up? How the hell did he learn martial arts?
But he doesn't spend that much time with Danny, especially when compared to Barry, so the question of is he good or is he bad is less of a question because it's not that big of a concern to Danny until the last couple episodes.
This city is no place for Danny Rand.
Madame Gao returns with the hand in order to build towards the Defenders, which made me think we were going to get either a Matt Murdock or Daredevil cameo, which never happens. But there's a surprising lack of setup for the Defenders, which makes me think that either half the season is going to be dedicated to forming the Defenders, or hopefully just the first episode. But considering how lackluster this season was, I would have preferred more of a tease for what's coming next.
I know what they are, what they can do. To fight them, we need someone with special skills.
Claire Temple once again makes an appearance in her most intensive role to date, but at the same time feels the most contrived, as it's getting a little convenient that she keeps running into these superpowered people.
The hell does that mean?
For a show about martial arts, there isn't a lot of it. The season houses a pretty entertaining Hatchetman fight, a drunken style fight, and Gao's trials that, for me personally, was more like a video game than a TV show, but was still more entertaining from the other few lackluster fight scenes we got during the season.
You are a living weapon. Drive all other thoughts out of your mind except this.
I also think the show missed a huge opportunity when they chose to omit any backstory as to how Danny became so skilled in martial arts. This would have been an interesting way to show how he became so skilled and how he learned certain techniques, similarly to how Bruce Wayne trained with the League of Assassins in Batman Begins. Lastly, I want to touch on a few Easter eggs that I really enjoyed personally. First, the name on Danny's passport is John Andersen, which really got me giddy because, the plotline surrounding the power plant from Staten Island that was giving everybody cancer made me, someone from Staten Island, think just typical. Probably true, but just typical. Lastly, the Hands compound was shot on Staten Island at Snug Harbor Cultural Center, which I've done a lot of theater shows there, and it was funny seeing this place that I've been to rehearsals and walking through the walkway so many times. But it was a little jarring considering that the show never established where the compound was, and it took me out of the show a little bit.
This is my purpose.
So to sum up, the series had a lot of potential, but it doesn't follow through on a lot of the creative ideas that it's presented, and that's why for me, Iron Fist is really not a good season. So those are my thoughts on Iron Fist. Do you agree, disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to click right here to see a spoiler podcast I did with Bandit from Bandit Incorporated and a fellow Patreon, and be sure to check out his channel while you're there. And click over here to see my latest reviews from last weekend on Life and Power Rangers. Also be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out my social media links down in the description below. Until next time, don't forget to watch the movies.